Hi y'all, Daniel Aaron here. Welcome, thank you for joining me. I got a little story for you. And it's a story that may have some utility for you. I hope so. I hope it's interesting and entertaining, and I also hope that you get something useful out of it. And it's a bizarre acupuncture experience I had quite some time ago. And I've been thinking about this lately as we're in some very interesting astrological times where there is like you could say, if you were to lean this way, that there is a lot of electrical energy about. You could say, if you were to lean this way, that we are electrical beings, and you could say that spirit or God or nature is electrical energy, and as yogis, part of what we do is draw more energy into us, clean out the barriers, the lines, the nadis, so that that energy flows more thoroughly through us, thus increasing our voltage and our ability to transmit love to others. Now, you could say none of that if you wanted to. That would be also fine. It was shortly after I moved to Bali. I was teaching yoga at a place in Seminyak, and the husband of the woman who owned the studio was an Indonesian guy, and he had studied with, I don't know if y'all ever saw the films called The Ring of Fire, Ring of Fire, I think is what it was called, and very cool story. And one of the images they show in there is this Javanese healer, Balian, who was so powerful in his practice that he could take his hands without mittens and put them over a crumpled up piece of paper, and through his concentration he could ignite that piece of paper without touching it. Yeah, and when I saw the footage of it, I was like, come on! Though since then, the more I've discovered in myself and seen around me, I believe it was true. Anyway, so the guy who had studied with him was rumored to conduct electricity. So I'm like, went up to him, and as some of you know about me, I tend to go right in for the questions, even if other people won't ask them. And I was like, say, hey, Maskalik, I hear you conduct electricity. What's up with that? And he's like, yeah, not very much, but I could do that if you want to. And I was like, yeah, I want to. What is it? And so he's like, I'll just come and I'll show you. I'm like, all right, and I liked him and I trusted him. So and if y'all know electricity in Bali, it can be a precarious thing. We get shocked quite often. Anyway, I go with him into this little back room, and he plugs some apparatus into the wall, and then he puts these two things on the ground that look kind of like, I don't know, electrical modules of some sort, little balls, just a tiny bit high. And he tells me to stand in front of him, face the opposite way. He stands on top of these things, and then he puts his hands on my back. Now, these things are plugged into a normal electrical outlet, which in Bali is 220 volts. And he puts his hands on me, and I'm sitting there going like, okay, I'm not feeling anything, and I've gotten a lot more sensitive since then. At that point in my life, probably I was a little denser. I was definitely denser, in more ways than one. In any way, and then suddenly I can feel something, and it goes through me now. And it was so surprising, shocking, that I was like, ah! I had made a little sound like that. And then we kept going with it, and I could feel energy moving, and then at one point I was like, ooh, it goes down my arm like that, into my middle finger, I could feel it. And then I could feel it down in my leg, and I couldn't tell what was going on, but he kind of chuckled a couple times, and then he increased it. And when he increased it, like, it was shocking, literally, no pun intended, to the point where I was like, ah! And had like certain startles, like sometimes my hand, and sometimes I was like, ah! Like scared, and then sometimes like, suddenly it was laughter, and it was like sort of scary and sort of orgasmic and bizarre, and then he started having more fun, and he could actually send it through and control it to the point that he would like get my arm to go like that. And I don't know if I could have controlled it. I wasn't trying, but I didn't feel like I could control it. I have no idea how long we did this, and when we finished, I was a little electrified like this, and my beard was standing on end, and it was an amazing experience. And when I asked him about it, I was like, so what is that? He's like, yeah, I don't know. I think of it as superpowered acupuncture. Okay. Um, and honestly, I can't say what the effect was. Did it change my life? Did it enlighten me? Did it electrify me? One thing I know though is I love in life trying new experiences, especially ones that have the promise of awakening. And part of my job or my commitment to you is to be a guinea pig, to be out front, to try things out, even if they are weird and maybe a little bit dangerous, so that I can have the experience and distill it and bring it back and give to you what you can benefit from. Maybe you don't have to do all the stupid things I've done. You can do your own stupid things. And maybe there's some opening for all of us for, and by the way, I'm sure most of you listening to this, you're like, yeah, that's me too. I'm a pioneer. I'm a forerunner. I'm an explorer. That's my story, y'all. One of my stories. And as an explorer of consciousness, a pioneer of awakening, my name is Daniel Aaron, and I am grateful to you for watching, for being interested, and also for being a pioneer of a new level of consciousness on the planet, one ruled by love. And if we are electrifying anything, and if we are opening up anything, let it be this part right here. And from this part of me to that part of you, I say, namaste.